think we can start. Okay. Your Majesty, Director General Ms. Bomberger, dear Hilde Hardeman, dear ladies and gentlemen on this panel, and to all of you, a very warm welcome today. Today is Human Rights Day. You are here at the European House. My name is Richard Kühnel. I represent the EU Commission in Germany, but I've been working for many years on human rights issues in Geneva and New York with the United Nations. And this is why I'm very delighted and proud to have you with us here today in these our premises. I'm delighted because also for us it is rare to have such distinguished international guests in our premises, and I'm very grateful for this, and particularly Your Majesty, a very warm welcome again to you. I'm very, very happy to have you here. But also our panelists who are here and will discuss. This is for us an important moment as European Union. I'm also proud because I think as EU we can only try to do our best to help you in your work. And with Hilde Hardeman, we have somebody here who came from Brussels, who can then also share some experiences. But I think we will try in the future again to do our best to support you in your important work. Most of us can only imagine how painful it must be to miss a dear one, to miss a family member, not only for the absence but for the uncertainty which goes with it. And your work can give hope to people who often have lost all hope, can bring justice to those who deserve it and peace to those who seek it. As EU, we have had the privilege and the luck, I must also say, to have had 70 years no war within the territory of this integrated Europe. But it's not true for other parts of the world and for our neighborhood. And I think it's therefore a responsibility on us to help you in this important work. Thank you for being our guests today. Thank you for your continued commitment, and welcome to our house. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Kühnel. And also thank you very much for so graciously hosting this event this evening, and also to Hilde Hardeman for the EU foreign policy instruments for supporting ICMP's program relevant to Syria. We're very, very grateful for your efforts and for your support. My name is Catherine Bomberger, and I'm the Director General of the International Commission on Missing Persons. This Profiles of the Missing event, which we're having tonight on Syria, is very important for us, and it's a forum that allows the families of the missing to speak about their experiences, about their needs, and about all of us to listen to what they want, to listen to what they went through, and to start thinking about the journey that we all need to embark upon to help them in their search for the missing and search for justice, truth, and other rights, and especially today on Human Rights Day, to recognize that families of the missing, all families of the missing, regardless of their ethnic, religious, or national background, have rights, and those rights should be protected. So I want to thank you again. I just want to introduce Yusuf very quickly, and he'll introduce the panels later on. But I just want to make one remark before we turn to Hilde Hardeman, is unfortunately Mr. Koning cannot be here at 5 o'clock, so he will be a little bit late. So we may disrupt the panel discussion for a little bit so that he can make his opening remarks. This was unforeseen. There was just a change in the schedule itself, so I'm very sorry about that. But it's very important that we listen to him. Mrs. Hardeman and the European Union are supporting ICMP's effort, and the German federal government has done a lot to support ICMP's work over the years in many places. So having said that, very quickly, I would like to turn to Hilde Hardeman. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Catherine. Your Majesty, Excellencies, mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, dear friends, let me thank you all for your presence here today. And let us use this event to take stock of the important work supporting the families of the missing. Let us use this event to reflect how we can support those that have been personally affected. And let us use this event to help make progress on ensuring accountability. I was in Beirut just 1 week ago, where I had the chance to listen directly to Syrian women whose relatives are missing, hearing their fear, their anger, and their determination to clarify the fate of their disappeared dear ones. Later that week, last week, I met together with Federica Mogherini, another group of Syrian women in Brussels. Their efforts, their struggles, their determination very deeply impressed us. The role of the International Commission on Missing Persons is crucial to support and strengthen their work at local level. I commend Catherine and her team, and I thank Her Majesty for their work to account for the missing and to help ensure transitional justice and accountability. And I am proud, in a way, that the European Commission, through the Service for Foreign Policy Instruments, supports this important work. As Federica Mogherini, our High Representative for Foreign and Security Policy and also Vice President of the European Commission, stressed last week in Brussels, accounting for missing persons is key to the European Union's engagement in Syria and elsewhere. It's key to the EU's work for transitional justice and accountability. This work is crucial to the future of Syria, and this work touches upon the very core values on which the European Union is based, because, as Ambassador Kühnel has said, we should not forget our own history and what our parents and our grandparents have gone through. They built the European Union to overcome the terrible conflicts on our own continent that brought so much grief to so many people. Exactly 1 month ago, on the occasion of the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I, we commemorated the victims of these conflicts and reconfirmed that such terrible suffering should never happen again, not in the European Union, not elsewhere. At the Paris Peace Forum on the 11th of November, we supported Catherine and her team in putting the fate of missing persons and their families firmly on this peace agenda. To reaffirm our commitment to support Syrians in building their own future, the European Union will host the Brussels III Conference on Syria and the region in April of next year, and the fate of missing persons and the question of accountability will take a central place at that conference. As a last word, I would like to mention the work done by the International Committee for the Missing Persons in the Balkans, and I'm really very happy that Munira Subasic is here with us today. Munira heads the Association of the Mothers of Srebrenica. She will share her experiences today. Thank you very much, Munira. Again, thank you all for your presence here today, and most importantly, for your daily work, because being at the conference is the easy part. It's what you are doing every day in Syria and elsewhere, what really matters. Thank you very, very much for your courage, for your determination. I hope very much that today's event will contribute to bringing new connections, new ideas, new motivation for this essential work, for those who are missing and for those who are staying behind. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I would now like to introduce Her Majesty Queen Noor, who is ICMP's longest-serving commissioner and a fantastic human rights activist in her own right. Thank you.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ladies and gentlemen, as an ICMP commissioner, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the European Commission's representation in Germany for hosting this evening's event, as well as the European Union's Service for Foreign Policy Instruments for the assistance it is giving to ICMP's Syria program. We are also extremely grateful to the German Federal Office for its support over the years for ICMP's work in a number of program areas. In the 17 years since I became a commissioner, ICMP has been at the forefront of a revolution in dealing with the issue of missing persons, numbering in the millions today, an issue that is now recognized as a global challenge. We have emerged as the organization that can meet that challenge. Like so many, I have watched the tragedy of Syria today unfold with horror. My sense of what has been lost has been all the more acute because my Halabi family arrived in New York City in the 1890s, among the first Syrian immigrants to the United States. That was always a source of pride to me growing up. I know this magnificent country and its heritage, though nowhere near as well as so many of you in this room today. I feel the pain that is being inflicted, but I know too the strength and resilience that are woven into the Syrian response to adversity. And so many who represent that are here on the dais today and also, I'm sure, in this room. We will travel a long road together with the victims and the survivors. Our goal is to help establish an effective and sustainable and impartial process to account for the tens of thousands of missing, whether from the decades before the conflict or as a direct result of the conflict, as fatal casualties of the Mediterranean crossing or as victims of human trafficking. As a result of EU support, ICMP is able to provide real and practical assistance to Syrian civil society and reach out to families in order to collect information. With the cooperation of European states, this can be used in some cases immediately, for example, to help locate family members who have been separated in the chaos of migration, children who end up being in one part of Europe and parents in another. Information can also be recorded and safely stored for future use. For example, when it becomes possible to account for missing persons on a large scale inside Syria. Together with policymakers, legal experts, and civil society groups, we are learning from the families of the missing. We are listening. This is how we moved forward, as you've just heard, in Bosnia-Herzegovina. Munira Subasic, who again Hilda mentioned, the head of the Mothers of Srebrenica, whom I have been privileged to call my friend for many years, has been an inspiration throughout that process. And as you know, she's here with us tonight. She has worked indefatigably for more than a quarter of a century to highlight the truth and secure justice in the wake of the Srebrenica genocide, which first took me over 20 years ago to the Western Balkans and to the issue which brings us here tonight. I have been inside mass graves there, and I've witnessed ICMP's meticulous forensic analysis. And I have been moved and uplifted beyond description by the survivors' faith and courage, their determination to move from trauma and grief to an extraordinary commitment, not to revenge, but to justice for all. Munira personifies that remarkable spirit. When the Commission was first established to work in the former Yugoslavia, few imagined that it would be possible to account for many of the 40,000 who were missing. However, we were able to help governments in the region to account for more than 70% of the missing, including 90% of the 8,000 Muslim men and boys who were murdered in the Srebrenica genocide. This number of identifications is unprecedented. It is an invaluable model for accounting for the missing from Syria. In the case of the former Yugoslavia, ICMP collected data from 100,000 families. Our Syria program will follow the same approach, though in even more complex circumstances. We are fully aware, as you are. As well as collecting information, ICMP is consulting families on the best way to ensure that the issue of the missing is addressed in a future peace agreement, and on the most effective ways of accessing the right to truth, justice, and reparations. It is fitting, as Catherine mentioned, that we stress repeatedly the rights-based approach on this 70th anniversary of the adoption of the United Nations General Assembly of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. In post-conflict societies, large numbers of missing persons mean that tens of thousands of people cannot move forward with the critical process of recovery, reconstruction, and reconciliation. They are tethered to a violent past by a tragedy that cannot be closed. This is where I believe our approach has yielded particularly important results. We do not set out to apply an instant or temporary solution. We support efforts to establish legislative and institutional frameworks with the full and continuous cooperation of civil society, all the while providing technical assistance in a range of different areas. This makes it possible to establish a missing persons process that can operate effectively over an extended period and strengthen and promote rule of law-based institution building. I'm therefore very pleased that we have with us this evening Michelle Jarvis from the International Impartial and Independent Mechanism to assist in the investigation and prosecution of persons responsible for the most serious crimes under international law committed in the Syrian Arab Republic since 2011. And also Patrick Croker from the European Center for Constitutional and Human Rights. Their presence places our efforts very firmly in the context of the rule of law and accountability. Let me also take a moment to congratulate Anwar Al-Bouni, one of our panelists, who was this morning the recipient of the German-French Prize for Human Rights and the Rule of Law. The award highlights the close connection between justice and accounting. Alf Mabruk. The Syrian Center for Media and Freedom of Expression is playing a key role in developing a system of accountability that will increase the prospects of justice in post-conflict Syria. And I want to recognize the word of Mazen Darwish, the founder and director of SCM, and Yusuf Wehbe, program manager at SCM, who will moderate our discussion this evening. This evening, as you've heard from Catherine, is about listening to the testimony of the families, because their experience must never be forgotten. Profiles of the Missing gives them this opportunity, and it's an opportunity for us to travel shoulder to shoulder with them on their long road towards justice and truth. The civil society organizations that are represented on this panel this evening are Families for Freedom, No Photo Zone, the Syrian Center for Legal Studies and Research, the Caesar families, the Mothers of Srebrenica and the Zepa enclaves, and the panelists, in addition to Munira and Anwar, are Noura Ghazi, Fadwa Mahmoud, Wafa Mustashfa, and Kutaiba al-Mash'an Tasfe. Welcome to all the speakers. Welcome to all of you. Above all, I want to assure the families of the missing here in this room and around the world that we have not forgotten them, and we will not forget them. We will work side by side with them, and they should know that in their search for the truth, in their search for justice, they do not walk alone. Salam alaikum. Peace be with you.
I would now like to invite Mazen Darwish also to say a few words. I think many within the Syrian community know him. He is not only a survivor, he was a detainee himself and is also a survivor. Thank you.
هدول لك يا صديقي. Okay. Thank you very much. I will not take too much time, but I will speak in Arabic. يمكن السبب الأساسي اللي بيجمعنا هو الحرب، فشوي رح أحكي أكثر عن الحرب يلي أفضل ما فيها هو انتهاؤها، ولا يوجد للحرب أي فضيلة أخرى غير أنها قابلة للانتهاء. والحرب لا تنتهي بعد أن تلتقي آخر طلقة بجسد ضحيتها الأخيرة. تنتهي الحرب عندما يعود آخر معتقل وآخر مهجر إلى بيته. تنتهي الحرب عندما يتم الكشف عن مصير آخر المفقودين، عندما يشعر الضحايا بالرضا تجاه العدالة، عندما تزول أسباب نشوئها ونضمن عدم عودتها. ولطالما كان لزاما علينا نحن أبناء الحرب وعلى امتدادها أن نواجه السؤال الذي دائما يسأل: في أي جانب أنت؟ واسمحوا لي وباسم الضحايا ومن خلال منبركم هذا التأكيد على إجابتنا الوحيدة: نحن في جانب الضحايا، جميع الضحايا، أيا تكن الضحية وأيا يكن الجاني. نحن مع كل أم وزوجة وحبيبة تحلم بعودة أحبتها، أو ربما بقبر تستطيع أن تزرع حوله الزهور وتبكي بسلام. نحن مع سلام دائم قابل للحياة، ولسنا مع مجرد استراحة للمحاربين. نحن فقط دائما وأبدا في جانب الكرامة الإنسانية. هذا جزء مما تعلمته شخصيا من مريم الحلاق، من فدوى محمود، من نورة، من ياسمين المشعان، من قتيبة، ومن آلاف الضحايا اللي نتشرف بالعمل معهم، ونتشرف بأنه نتعلم منهم، من صبرهم ومن إصرارهم للوصول دائما للعدالة مش للانتقام. شكرا.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome and thank you very much for joining us in this very important and special event. My name is Yusuf Wehbi. I'm the Programs Manager of Syrian Center for Media and Freedom of Expression, and I'm honored today to moderate this exceptional panel with our honored guests. Before that, please allow me to use this opportunity indeed to remember our four colleagues, Razan Zaytuna and Samira Khalil, Nazim Hamadi and Wa'il Hamada, who were yesterday, that was their 5th anniversary of being kidnapped and disappeared in Syria, in Douma, 5 years ago. And that actually, maybe this is the right moment today to have this conference here and to have our panelists just to confirm and to ensure that the struggle to reveal the fate of our missing people is essential for everybody in this conflict. Our session will start with an introductory round for our speakers today, for our panelists. Then will be followed with a dialogue and, for maybe 1 hour and a half. And the last 30 minutes will be for you for a Q&A sessions. So feel free to ask, comment, and just say whatever you want to our panelists here. So I will give the floor to our panelists, starting from my friend Patrick here, then move again, just a short introduction about yourself, what you do, and then we will move ahead into more in-depth questions.
Good evening from my side as well. My name is Patrick Croker. Thank you first of all for the invitation to the organizers and to give the European Center for Constitutional and Human Rights, for which I work, the possibility to present our views, and of course the warmest welcome on the families of the disappeared, many of whom I had the pleasure to meet before. We are an organization that is engaged in strategic human rights litigation. That means we file criminal complaints, we sue companies, sometimes governments, for egregious human rights abuses. And of course, Syria is a very big project. It is in fact the biggest project that the ECCHR as a civil society organization has ever had, which says a lot about the importance that we give to that kind of work. And yeah, we work with criminal accountability measures in that regard, and I think more we will speak about later on in the discussion.
Good evening. Thank you for your presence, and thank you for ICMP and the EU for having us. My name is Noura Ghazi. I'm a Syrian human rights lawyer. Actually, I had the experience of having missing persons twice in my life. The first time was with my father, my father, as he was detained for 9 times during his life. This is the reason which pushed me to be a human rights lawyer. And I have been working as a human rights lawyer and defending political prisoners and prisoners of conscience for almost 15 years. I had the experience also with my husband. He was my fiancé when he was detained 2 weeks before our wedding. And after 10 months of his disappearance, I could visit him in the central prison of Damascus, which we get married in. And after 3 years of visiting him regularly, 3 times a week, I lost him again. And I knew after almost 2 years of his disappearance that he was sentenced to death on October 2015. I had to leave Damascus last year, and currently I'm based in Beirut. I'm doing 2 things. I'm doing a diploma in translation and a master's in nonviolence and human rights. I'm just establishing my foundation, No Photo Zone Foundation. It's a small and a new organization who provides legal assistance and legal empowerment besides advocacy for the families of missing persons in Syria and Lebanon. And I'm one of the co-founders of Families for Freedom also. Thank you so much.
مساء الخير. أنا اسمي فدوى محمود. أنا يمكن من الرعيل القديم يلي هو أيام حافظ الأسد أنا كنت معتقلة. اللي بدي أقوله اعتقلت وكان ابني اللي هو هلا معتقل كان عمره 9 سنوات. ب20/9/2012 كنت عم بستناهم على الغداء لابني وزوجي مشان يرجعوا واتغدى أنا وياهم. ولسه لبعدني لهلا عم بستنى أعرف عنهم أي معلومة. من 7 سنوات. فأنا أم وزوجة لمغيبين من 7 سنوات. أنا من 20/9/2012 وأنا عم قوم بعملية البحث عن أعرف أي معلومة عن أحبتي، عن أولادي، عن ابني يلي هو قطعة من روحي. لحد الآن ما قدرت أعرف ولا معلومة. رغم هذا الشيء بدي ضل قوية وبدي ضل تابع عملية البحث، لأنه أنا ما عم أحكي باسمي أنا كفدوى أم وزوجة لحالة. أنا عم أحكي باسم عائلات، مئات آلاف العائلات بسوريا يلي ما بيقدروا يحكوا لأنه هن لسه بعدهم عايشين بهيدا القمع يلي نحن صرنا عقود عم نعيشه. فأنا رح كون صوتهم، رح كون الحنجرة تبعهم لنلاقي أحبابنا. أنا من مؤسسات حركة عائلات من أجل الحرية. هاي الحركة اللي ابتدت كتير صغيرة بس عم تجوب العالم، عم تجوب العالم وتقولكم يا عالم يا ناس، في ناس بسوريا بحاجة للمساعدة، بحاجة للمساندة. مش بس بالكلمات، بدنا فعلا على أرض الواقع شو بيقدر هذا العالم يساند هدول الناس. هلا انا بقول انه اعاده اعمار سوريا كثير مهم، وانا اسفه لانه بس بدي احكي هدول الكلمتين، بس في جثث، في اغلى شيء عند السوريين ممكن يكون تحت هذا التراب اللي بدها تنبنى عليه سوريا. اول شيء بدنا نكشف عن مصير هدول الناس. فانا لسه بدي اتابع ومتابعه عمليه البحث عن اولادنا وعن احبابنا. شكرا.
قتيبة المشعان، سوري من مدينة دير الزور، مقيم حاليا في جمهورية ألمانيا الاتحادية في دار مشتات. الناجي الوحيد أنا وشقيقتي لعائلة فقدت 5 من أبنائها أثناء خلال هاي الحرب العبثية اللي دايرة في سوريا. عضو مؤسس لرابطة عوائل قيصر، مناشط في مجال حقوق الإنسان، مجتمع مدني. شكرا.
Poštovane porodice, dragi gosti, dragi prijatelji, uvažena kraljice, draga moja Ketrin, sve vas lijepo pozdravljam, selamim. Ja sam Munira Subašić, predsjednica udruženja Pokret majki enklava Srebrenice i Žepe. Preživjela sam genocid. U genocidu mi je ubijeno 22 člana moje uže familije i preko 100 daljnje. Moj najmlađi sin želio je da postane veliki čovjek. Nažalost, njegov život je okončan. Želim da kažem da ću se potruditi da majkama Sirije prenesem onu našu borbu i naš život koji smo mi proveli 23 godine, čekajući istinu i tražeći pravdu. Hvala mojoj Ketrin koja je se pojavila u Bosni, koja je osnovala ICMP i mi u Potočara imamo veliki memorijal. Pozivam vas sviju da dođete. Tamo naša djeca imaju imena i prezimena. Tamo ima 8000 bijelih nišana. Svaki nišan će vam reći o sebi. Želim da i sve majke, bez obzira kako se zvale, kome pripadale, a imaju svoje nestale, da pronađu kosti svoje djece i da imaju svoje obilježje. I samo ću vam nešto reći. Kolika je god razlika između žive osobe i mrtve, veća je razlika između mrtve osobe i nestale. Ako ne nađete dio kosti, ako ne vratite toj kosti ime i prezime, onda slobodno možete da kažete da tu osobu nikad niste ni imali. Hvala vam još jednom.
Good evening. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, ICMP, for organizing this event. I am Anwar Bunni, Syrian lawyer. I am head of Syrian Center for Legal Studies and Research. Our work, we are just lawyers in our center. We defend about political prisoners in Syria, and we made forms for new Syria laws as constitution and parties law, election law, and other. We start here with our great partner ICM and ECCHR dedication to start with accountability about the horrible crimes happened and committed in Syria, and we do something, I think, and some step on this road with in French and in Germany, and there is arrest warrant issued, and that's start. It's just start.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. I'm Wafa Mustafa, 28 years old. I'm from Smasyaf city in the countryside of Hama, middle of Syria. I worked as a journalist, and now I'm doing a BA in Arts and Aesthetics. I'm based here in Berlin, and I am the youngest member of Families for Freedom group.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Michelle Jarvis, the Deputy Head of the IIIM, a confusing acronym for a relatively new body created by the General Assembly in 2016, the International Impartial Independent Mechanism for Syria. As you may know, a lot of the more typical accountability pathways for crimes committed in Syria have been blocked over the past years. The International Criminal Court, ad hoc tribunals, models that we've seen in the past. So the General Assembly has really adopted a new approach, creating a body that, while it can't actually issue indictments or prosecute cases, can do essential preparatory work that will lay the ground foundations for the day when accountability pathways open up. So we are putting together a comprehensive collection of information and evidence about crimes committed in Syria. We're analysing that with high-tech capabilities, and we're developing criminal law case files that we can transfer to others who have jurisdiction either now or in the future. When it comes to missing persons, we don't have a mandate specifically on this, but I think as someone who's worked in the international justice field for many years, I know Munira very well from my work in the Balkans, we can't fail to see the connections between accountability work and the search for missing persons. So we really are trying at the outset at the IIIM to find those ways to support the work of ICMP on this really essential issue of the missing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and of course we will come back also to the issue of the relation between the missing persons and the accountability, justice and peace, especially in the future Syria. I would like to start after hearing these very emotional introductions and stories to talk directly to Fadwa, because the story seems maybe for the majority is a kind of a very emotional thing, knowing the headlines or the general overview about what happened to you, but it also seems to be very important for us to know about your experience trying to track the missing beloved ones of your family.
أنا مثل ما حكيت من شوي من 2012 لتاريخ هذا اليوم وأنا عم قوم بعملية البحث عن أي خبر أو أي معلومة عن ابني ولا زوجي. هلا إذا بدي أحكي مسيرة كتير طويلة وفيها خيبات أمل وفيها خيبات كتير مريرة، لأنه رغم كل هذا الجهد اللي قمت فيه أو اشتغلت عليه ما قدرت أحصل على أي معلومة. هلا أنا ما بدي أقول إنه تقصير هو من مجتمع دولي، هو من منظمات، هو من أنا ما بقدر أقول هيك، بدي أقول إنه إيه ما كان في هيك جهد منظم لعملية الدفع بالكشف عن مصير المعتقلين أو المفقودين بسوريا. يمكن بالسنوات الأخيرة إيه عم نشوف هيك عملية بحث بقوة وبشدة. فأنا أتمنى واللي بدي أقوله سادتي إنه أنا من 2012 وأنا عم بشتغل أول شيء بشكل فردي إنه لحالي، إنه أنا بدي أعرف أي معلومة عن هدول الناس يلي اختفوا هيك تبخروا من طريق مطار دمشق الدولي يعني وهن راجعين بالطريق. فكل هذا الوقت وأنا عم أبحث أعرف أي معلومة عنهم ما قدرت أعرف. بالأخير قدرنا نوحد جهودنا أنا ومجموعة سيدات بيشبهوا مثل ما قلت أنا مئات آلاف العائلات بيشبهوا وضعي أنا ولا وضع نورة ولا وضع وفا. فحاولنا نوحد جهودنا ونضل نقول إنه هيدا الملف الإنساني يا ناس يا عالم، هذا ملف إنساني مش سياسي، مش للتفاوض. هيدا ما بيصير يكون للتفاوض، فخلونا نحافظ على حياة هدول الناس، واللي توفى منهم أو اللي انفقد أو أي شيء نعرف أي معلومة عنهم. فأنا بدي أحكي كثير عن عملية البحث. وأنا اللي بقوله واللي بدي أطلبه من كل المجتمع الدولي أو من كل المنظمات إنه يا ناس وقفوا معنا نحن كسوريين كحدا هيك المواقف الإنسانية بس الجدية الفعلية، لأنه نكشف عن مصير أحبتنا، شباب ولا نساء ولا أطفال. نحن عنا أطفال ما بنعرف وين كمان هن موجودين. فنحن بدنا هاي المساندة وبدنا هذا الشغل الجدي من كل الدول ومن كل العالم، لأنه فعلا ننهي هاي المأساة الإنسانية. شكرا.
Thank you very much, Fadwa. Just before I give the floor to the other panelists, I give also the word to Catherine, please.
Schedule change, and I'm sorry about that, but I think it's very important since we're here in Berlin and there's so many Syrians represented here today who are living now in Germany. In fact, the population is 1 million, I understand, of Syrians that are now currently living in Germany. So if you will continue the panel discussion, but if we would be so honored, and Germany has been a big supporter of ICMPs in so many parts of the world, so whether it's Iraq, whether it's Colombia, whether it's the Western Balkans. So if you could say a few words and then we'll continue, because I think it's very important for our Syrian audience, most of them in Germany.
Well, thank you very much and for these nice and kind words. And I must say it's actually really an honor for me to participate in the event tonight. And yes, Germany has been a supporter of ICMP, not only in Syria but also in other places. And I think for a reason we have been doing this. And unfortunately, this reason continues in many places in the world. And ICMP, I think, is doing a very valuable work, which is worth supporting. And I can only appeal to all others in the international community to do the same, because ICMP is just an important part of bringing about peace and justice. And this is extremely important, especially for families, for women, for mothers, for fathers, for sisters and brothers who have lost relatives. And how can we help and assist to bring a little peace into these families through the work ICMP is doing? Because it's not only justice, it's also peace. And I can tell you a little bit a story from my own personal life. My grandfather, which I have never met, is a person missing in action. We have lost every sight of him towards the end of the Second World War, and never had a possibility to find his whereabouts or what happened to him. And I know what this has brought to my family. I mean, I was born well after the war, so I've never been in a position to know him. But my grandmother, until her death, was still looking for her husband, was still looking for the father of her 4 children who was missing. So, and you will find in Germany many families who have similar experiences. And this is also why this is also deeply rooted in German society in a way. We know in Germany what it means if you have missing persons and how important it is to support other families, countries, states in helping them to find their missing persons out of conflict they are going through or they are still going through in conflict, and how important this is for a peace and reconciliation process, for bringing peace of mind, but also, and this is the second part, we are talking about justice. Justice, I think, is extremely important as well, because wherever there is a victim, we might find also somebody who is responsible for that victim, who has brought about the grievances of the families. And it is only natural that reconciliation and peace cannot go without justice, because it's not only that, of course, families should know what happened to the family members, but it's also who is responsible for that and bring these people to justice. And here ICMP is also doing an extremely important work. First of all, identifying the victims, gathering forensic evidence, which is the basis for justice, because we have to know who are the victims, what happened to them, and this starts a legal process which brings us, or which hopefully at the end of the day brings about justice in a way. So that is why I came here this evening, as I said, not only because it is important that Germany is supporting ICMP, and we will continue to do so, I promise. We are in the wake of a new budget year, which is important for support, and I can assure you that we will continue in 2019 throughout what we have been doing in the years past. But it is also for me a very personal kind of experience to listen to you, to be part of this event tonight, and see directly what is actually happening with the support Germany is giving. You know, just budgetary people are very, let's say, strict, and we look, of course, that ICMP is doing what they are supposed to do with our funds. But seeing you being part of this event shows exactly what that kind of contribution can bring as a change in not only in Syria but also other countries. And as it has been mentioned, yes, Germany is one of the countries where many Syrian refugees came to in the years 2015 and following. And so we have of course, direct source of contact and information into the Syrian crisis that goes well beyond our political engagement, which Germany has been showing throughout the years to bring about a peaceful solution to the conflict in Syria. So thank you very much for having me, and I think now the panel continues. That's my understanding. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I will get back to you, Munira. You are, and your colleagues and the other mothers, actually, you are a pioneer in the struggle for truth and justice. It would be very interesting also for all of us to know your experience during the search process, before and after the establishment or the creation of the Mothers of Srebrenica.
Na početku želim da vam kažem nekoliko stvari koje smo mi uradili posle kad smo preživjeli genocid. Prvo smo htjeli da se obratimo našoj vladi, svijetu, šta je sa našom djecom. Međutim, niko nas nije čuo. Mi smo se okupili u velikom broju, pravili smo velike demonstracije, samo jedno smo pitali, gdje su naši najmiliji. To je trajalo dugo. Posle toga kazali su nam da su naši svi mrtvi. Mi, majke, primiti tu vijest jako je teško i danas i bit će uvijek i do smrti naše. Međutim, prošlost se ne može vratiti, moramo nešto raditi za djecu koja ostaju iza mrtvi i djecu koja nisu doživjeli da znaju sudbinu svojih roditelja. Posle toga se je pojavilo, hvala Bogu, ICMP, došla je Catherine Bomberger, imala je s nama jedan sastanak. Šta je za mene ostavilo najviše i najvažnije na svijetu? Dovela je sve majke, znači majke Bošnjakinje, majke Srpkinje, majke Hrvatice. Sjeli smo svi za jedan sto, nije bilo lahko, gledali smo se prvo poprijeko, uvijek smo mislili da je krivica tamo, da nije vamo. Međutim, naš dijalog, naš razgovor, mi smo, zahvaljujući normalno našoj mudroj Catherine Bomberger, koja je u tom momentu bila jak stup prema majki, i mi smo shvatili da naš problem nije ondje kod nas, da je naš problem tamo dalje. Tako da i ona majka koja je bila tamo dalje shvatila je da je problem vamo. Počeli smo zajedno s radom, uspjeli smo da kroz naš dijalog, kroz osjećaj same majke, da dođemo do nekih podataka, grobnica, što je najvažnije, da se grobnice moraju otvoriti, da se pokaže da su naši mrtvi. Tako da posle grobnice kad se otvorile počela identifikacija. Svaka nađena kost je majci bila nešto sveto. Mnoge majke su govorile, naći ću jednu kost pa ću je zamotati u svilu. Znači, moto našeg života, našeg rada je bilo pronaći kosti vlastitog djeteta. Pronašli smo jako veliki broj naše djece, zahvaljujući normalno Catherine i njenom radu. Zato ja često puta kažem da je sramno da Catherine i ICMP nisu dobili Nobelovu nagradu, oni su to zaslužili. Dobivaju mnogi ljudi onako pronašli nešto, a zamislite pronaći jedno dijete, pronaći kost djeci. Jednoj majci vrati ime i prezime djeteta, mislim da je to najveće blago na svijetu koji čovjek može imati. Tako da smo mi počeli da radimo zajedno, pokazalo se da zajedno je bolje, zato ja ovim majkama iz Sirije govorim, moraju zajedno raditi, bez obzira koliko god i šta god, moraju, zajedno će imati uspjeh. I mi smo u tome uspjeli. Uspjeli smo da našu djecu izvedemo na pravi put, da imamo sad jako dosta naše školovane djece, doktora, inženjera, profesora, da naša djeca ne mrze. Uspjeli smo da naša djeca nisu napravila ni jednu osvetu. Iako su mnoga djeca gledala kad im kolju majku, kad im siluju majku, kad im siluju sestru. 61 dijete se je rodilo kod nas s plodom silovanja. Zamislite ta djeca, mnoga su otišla u domove, mnoga ne znaju još nikad sudbinu svoju. Ali ipak mi majke se borimo za tim. Meni je najveći ponos kao majke da su naša djeca najbolja. I u Njemačku koja su ovdje najbolja su. A meni je drago danas da sam ovdje u Njemačkoj, jer nekako Njemačku najviše volim. Prošla sam čitav svijet, ali stvarno Njemačku i Njemci mi daju neki povod. Volila bi da to tako bude kod nas u Bosni, na Balkanu, da se prihvate odgovornosti, jer prošlo je 23 godine, još uvijek se negira genocid. Još uvijek se govori da se nije desilo ono što se je desilo. Mi majke smo na početku uzimale jako dosta izjava od preživjelih svjedoka. Slali smo ih na razne adrese. Znači, sarađivali smo jako dosta sa Haškim tribunalom, tako da smo postali kao prijatelji Haškog tribunala. Sve što se i tamo dešavalo, mi smo tamo bili, tamo smo pozivani, tamo smo bili lijepo primljeni. Mislim, tužilac Bramec, nema ga ovdje, ali moram kazati da je to jedna velika ličnost i mislim, ako Bog da će pomoći majkama Sirije da i one budu zadovoljne sa njegovim radom. Ja molim sve dobre ljude koji mogu pomoći da pomognu da ICMP ostane i opstane. Bez njih neće biti dobrote. A mislim, moramo graditi Evropu i svijet na istini i na pravdi. A istina je ta da zločinci dobiju svoja imena i prezimena kao zločinci i da majke pronađu kosti svoje djeci. Još ćemo govoriti.
Well, thank you very much, Munira, for this comprehensive presentation. And just to follow up also very briefly, Qutaiba, before we move to the topic of the challenges addressing and mobilizing families. I think also you have a unique experience. You are a brother for 5 victims of the war in Syria. And you have also a unique experience inside and outside Syria in the process of searching for the missing ones. Would you please just elaborate a little bit about this?
بطبيعتي سابقا كنت شخص مرح جدا، أحب الحياة، وكثيرا ما كنت أهرب أثناء من الأماكن التي تتواجد بها مجالس العزاء في مدينتي إن مات شخص ما. إلا أن جاء العام 2012 وبدأت علاقتي الحميمية مع الموت، يوم قمت بتجهيز جثمان أخي زهير الذي استشهد أثناء إحدى المظاهرات لمواراته الثرى. أصريت جدا على الوالد أن أقوم بتجهيزه بنفسي، ومن ثم بدأت بالبحث والاستدلال على قبور شقيقين آخرين قتلا أثناء استهدافهم من قبل قناص تابع للقوات الحكومية، ودفنوا في إحدى الحدائق في المدينة المحاصرة. قمت بالتنسيق مع بعض الأشخاص للتسلل إلى المدينة والوصول إلى الحديقة لأرى قبور أخوتي التي قد جرفها النظام حاليا بعد أن أعاد سيطرته على المدينة. بشار أصغر أشقائي قضى بعد أن قامت عصابات داعش الإرهابية بقتله أثناء إسعافه لبعض المدنيين أثناء اقتحامهم للريف الشرقي في مدينتي. أما عقبة فقد تعرفنا عليه أثناء عرض صور سيزر. من بشار انفتحت أمامي مرحلة جديدة للعمل للكشف عن المقابر الجماعية التي خلفها التنظيم. بشار لم نجد جثمانه حتى الآن، فكنت أقوم بالاستدلال على المقابر الجماعية وإعادة فتح القبور ومقارنة الرفاة علي أحظى برفاة شقيقي، لكن للأسف هذه المرحلة كانت أثناء تواجدي في سوريا. بعد خروجي من سوريا ووصولي إلى الأراضي الألمانية تم التواصل مع بعض العوائل، خاصة العوائل التي لها أبناء ظهرت صور أبنائهم في ملف قيصر، فقمنا بتشكيل رابطة عوائل قيصر. هي هيئة مجتمع مدني حديثة نسبيا، إنما خلال الفترة الوجيزة التي من بدء التأسيس إلى الآن قمنا بعدد كبير من النشاطات أعتقد أنه لا بأس بها، منها لقاء باريس حيث تم اللقاء مع الصف الأول بالإدارة الفرنسية أو الحكومة الفرنسية، كذلك لقاء جنيف مجلس حقوق الإنسان حيث كانت لنا مشاركة بحدث جانبي، ومنذ أيام لقاء لاهاي بالمشاركة مع ICMP، مشكورين جدا لدعوتهم، ومشاركتي اليوم معكم أيضا بدعوة كريمة من ICMP، وشكرا.
Thank you, Qutaiba. Wafa, I would like to move the discussion starting from the experiences that we've just heard. Probably we can feel that there is a real difference in these experiences before and after the creation of a kind of self-organized structures or shapes by the families. You are a member and you are the youngest member of the Families for Freedom. And I assume that you already touched the base or felt the kinds of challenges that faces you when you are trying to reach out to families and try to convince them, to motivate them to take action just as you are doing. So what are the main challenges in your perspective?
Yeah, I would like to speak in Arabic if it's fine. Okay. أنا ما ذكرت قبل شوي، أكيد أبي معتقل. اعتقل أبي بتاريخ 2 أيلول 2013، يعني من 1886 يوم، 1986 يوم. يعني التحدي الأهم بما يتعلق بقضية المعتقلين هو برأيي ومن تجربتي الشخصية هو تحدي نفسي. لما تفقد أحد أقربائك أو أحد الأشخاص بمحيطك، لما بيعتقلوا أو بيختفوا أو يغيبوا قسرياً، هو حالة تماماً مشابهة، لأنه أنت تفيق الصبح وتكتشف أنه خسرت إيدك، تكتشف أنه ما عندك إيد أو ما عندك ذراع أو ما عندك أو تخسر أي عضو من أعضاء جسمك. الموضوع بهاي الصعوبة وبهاي الخطورة، هذا الواقع لحتى تقدر تشوفه وتصدقه وتقبله وتقدر تتعامل معه، هو بحاجة وقت كتير. بالنسبة إلي شخصياً ومثل كتير من السوريين، حالة الاعتقال ما بتجي كحالة، ما بتجي لحالها. ما بيعتقل أبوك أو أخوك أو أمك أو أختك وكل شيء بيضل مثل ما هو. اعتقل أبي بيوم من الأيام، ونحن بنفس اليوم كان لازم ما كان فينا نفكر بأي شيء غير إنه نحن كيف لازم نطلع من هاي البلد. كان لازم، وأكيد ببلد مثل سوريا ما بنطلع نظامي. هذا التحدي اللي له علاقة بالأشياء اللوجستية، أنت كيف تطلع من البلد، كيف بتروح على بلد غريب، تركيا بأحسن الأحوال، لغة جديدة، بلد جديد، ما في وثائق، أنت طالع بدون أي شيء، ما في مصاري، ما في مصدر مالي، وبنفس الوقت أنت خسران أحد أقربائك أو أحد أحبائك. بظن يعني أنا بالنسبة لي كان الموضوع كتير صعب. وصلنا على تركيا أنا وأمي وأختي كان عمرها 10 سنين، وكان لازم ما كان في وقت نفكر بأنه في أبي بيوم من الأيام بطل موجود، ما بنعرف وين ولا ليش ولا كيف. ما كان فينا نحزن، ما كان فينا نتطلع ببعض ونبكي، كان لازم ندور على بيت ونشتغل ونطلع مصاري ونعيش، لأنه بالمقابل بنفس الوقت كانت الحياة مكملة بكل محل. أنت عايش ببلد الحياة فيه طبيعية، وأنا برأيي هذا شيء جدا، هذا واقع صعب جدا التعامل معه. بنفس الوقت في واقع تاني بسوريا، واقع جدا سيء جدا مأساوي مستمر، ما أنه بتحسن، بالعكس بسوء. لحتى أنا قدرت الحقيقة بكل وضوح، لحتى أنا قدرت أوصل لليوم اللي أنا كون قاعدة هون وأقدر أقول للعالم أي شيء عم أقوله. هذا أخذ مني وقت كتير وجهد كتير، مثل كتير من السوريين ومثل كل العالم. أكيد أنا تعبت، وبفترة من الفترات صابني اكتئاب اكتئاب حقيقي. بفترة من الفترات رحت على المشفى وحزنت وبكيت، وبنفس الوقت كنت عم اشتغل مثل كل السوريين، ما في أي شيء خاص فيني أنا. بس بنفس الوقت الحقيقة ومو تنظير، بس أنا اليوم بعد كل شيء صار اكتشفت إنه ما في أي حل تاني. أنا جربت كل الخيارات، الحزن والاكتئاب والتعب، ما في خيار إلا الأمل، وما في خيار إلا إنه أنت تمشي خطوة باتجاه الآخر. هاي العلاقة مع الآخر اللي هو عايش اليوم حالة مشابهة، برأيي هي جزء كبير من الدعم النفسي اللي نحن بنحتاجه. اليوم أنا لما عم بتواصل مع أشخاص بما يخص قضية المعتقلين، بالتأكيد عم واجه صعوبة كبيرة. ناس خايفة، الناس يأسانة، الناس حاسة إنه ما في نتيجة، وبالآخر هذا كله بالتأكيد بيجعل مهمتنا أصعب. لأنه أنا بمحل اليوم بدي مرات الأمل الحقيقة صعب شوي ينشاف، مرات موجود ومرات لا. بس اليوم علاقتنا مع هاي العائلات هي مو بس إنه نحن نقنعهم إنه يطلعوا يحكوا أو ينضموا لعائلات من أجل الحرية أو ينضموا لأي تنظيم بيعمل على قضية المعتقلين. اليوم الخطوة الأهم إنه نحن نساعد هدول العائلات مثل ما أنا في ناس ساعدتني لحتى يشوفوا إنه الأمل موجود، مو دائما شكله واحد، له أشكال مختلفة، بس هو موجود. وهذا الإيمان بوجود الأمل أنا برأيي هو الحافز الأساسي والأهم لأي شيء ممكن ينعمل. شكرا.
Thank you very much, Wafa. So, creating or assisting families to think again with hope and other details, like, for example, the data collection, the search and identification efforts, all kinds of efforts. How do you think, Noura, it might be related to accountability and justice in the Syrian context, when we talk, of course, about the issue of the missing persons?
Okay, actually, I want first to clarify some issues for the audience about the arbitrary detention in Syria. It's actually the characteristic of arbitrary detention in Syria is a bit different, because the detention in Syria, the arresting in Syria, it's a kind of kidnapping. It's not a kind of arresting that they are telling the person that they are arresting him why and who are arresting him. So families and the detainees himself live with no any information about how and whereabouts of him. Another thing that because there is huge numbers of detainees who lost their lives because of ill treatment or torture or sickness in detention centers. So we don't receive any information about the bodies and the mass graves, and we don't know even if there is mass graves. For me, and as a person and as a professional in this file, when I think about hope, for example, and how is the hope important to achieve justice through the accountability for all the criminals in Syria, I think in myself that, okay, what is the hope for me? The hope for me is just to wake up someday and feel that, okay, I don't have to fight anymore for this big responsibility. I know now where is Basil, and I know where is his remains. I know that everyone who I works for, as my clients and the Syrian refugees in Lebanon, for example, and my clients who I had to live in Syria, knows or maybe know or get their beloved ones released. And I just want to collapse in some day because I didn't have the chance to collapse when I lost Basil. And the hope is just to push this person who hurt me with no reason, that I make him to admit that, okay, in some day I dream that he just says, sorry, I hurt you. This is what I dream of. The hope that in the new generation in Syria, it will be not any kind of arresting and disappearance. The hope that I want to come back to my country again. I unfortunately, I know I'm lucky that many countries in Europe will be happy to have me, but I feel that I don't feel comfortable in any place except Syria. So this is the hope. By talking about the hope for families, I want to highlight about some of challenges, especially in Lebanon where I live now. As Wafa said, we don't have just to face the reality that we are losing our beloved ones. We have to work, to live, to carry all of the troubles in life. And for example, in Lebanon, and I talked in my last meeting with EU in Beirut about this, there is almost 1 million Syrians in Lebanon, and most of them have their troubles with their residency in Lebanon, with the waves of arresting for the refugees camp in Lebanon from time to time. We have, okay, I'm not here to talk about the racism against Syrians. This is not our business now, but I want to have this occasion to tell you honestly, we need a kind of pressure on the Lebanese government to facilitate the Syrian lives and to facilitate our residency there, our work there, our study there, our daily lives there. Also, I want to say, I have a kind of partnership with ICMP. I do respect their work, and we are depending on you to get the accountability to us in the future, but with no any of international political will, there is nothing of this will happen. They don't have access to enter Syria, so this needs a kind of international decision to do so. So without political decisions, no one of us can continue its work. We are as Syrian human rights lawyers or as international organizations, so we need it, if you ask me, and this is my message in this special day of Universal Declaration of Human Rights.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Noura. Mr. Anwar, based on your experience in working in accountability and justice, and your direct contact and your direct relations with victims, definitely including many of them are families of missing people and enforced disappearances. How can you describe the process of, or the challenges that you face in your work dealing with this issue and transferring it from a kind of just personal issue and emotional thing to a process of accountability and justice, not only for the individuals, but for the context itself?
Can I speak in Arabic? Maybe it's more
yeah.
more comfortable and more clear for me. قضية المفقودين في سوريا هي من أضخم قضايا اللي ممكن نشأت عن الأزمة في سوريا. إذا كانت التقديرات حوالي 600,000 ضحية في سوريا الآن، فأكثر من نصفهم هم مفقودون، حتى وأنه علم مكانهم أو دفنوا ببعض الأماكن تم تدمير أماكن الدفن في كثير من المناطق وعادت الجثث لتختفي. هناك آلاف من الجنود الذين قاتلوا مع النظام، هناك حتى مع الميليشيات التي قاتلت مع النظام، حتى من الأجانب الذين جاءوا من دول عربية أو من دول أجنبية، من أوروبا أو من روسيا أو من جميعهم قتلوا وغير معروف أماكن دفنهم، ولديهم أهالي في هذه الدول حتما يوما ما سيطالبون أو من حقهم أن يعرفوا أين جثث أولادهم. هذا بالإضافة لعشرات ألوف من المعتقلين الذين نقدر أعدادهم بأكثر من 150,000 حتى الآن مختفين قسريا في السجون، لم يعرف مصيرهم، وتقديراتنا المبنية على معلومات كذلك أن أكثر من 60,000 منهم قد ماتوا في السجون ودفنت جثثهم في أماكن غير معروفة مجهولة، بالإضافة إلى أن هناك احتمال بحرق هذه الجثث حسب ما ظهرت بعض الأدلة. أكبر مشكلة ممكن أن نواجهها في سوريا هي مشكلة المفقودين. ممكن أن تكون تأثيرها في 3 اتجاهات. هذا العدد الكبير كل شخص منهم لديه عائلة تريد أن تعرف مصير ابنه أو قريبة، وبالتالي لا يمكن أن تستقر هذه العوائل وتفكر بإعادة بناء سلام في سوريا أو بإعادة العيش في سوريا قبل أن يرتاح بالها على من هو قريب لهم أو أحبتهم ويعرفون أين هو بالضبط. فهذه أكبر مشكلة ستواجه إعادة بناء سوريا، وبدون حلها لن يكون هناك إمكانية أن نجعل الناس تنسى ألمها وتبدأ في إعادة البناء. هذا من ناحية سوريا. من الناحية الإنسانية لا يمكن لأي شخص، وسمعنا تجارب الآن، أن يشعر بأنه وصل إلى حقه أو بدأ بالوصول إلى حقه قبل أن يعرف ما هو مصير أحبته. من الناحية القانونية العدالة لا تعني فقط الاقتصاص من المجرم. الاقتصاص من المجرم هو أحد طرق إحقاق العدالة، لكن للعدالة الكاملة يجب أولا إضافة إلى التعويض على الضحايا أن يعرف أهالي الضحية أين هو قريبهم وماذا حدث له. الحقيقة بما حدث لهذا القريب أو الحبيب، وهذا ما يفيد بالإضافة لذلك العملية القضائية التي نحن نقوم بها بتحقيق العدالة. حق أهالي الضحية أن يعرفوا ما حدث، بالإضافة إلى أن ما حدث سيكون دليل لإثبات الجريمة وإثبات الفاعل في بعض الأحيان. وبالتالي قضية المفقودين مسار كبير في مسألة تحقيق العدالة، وإذا أردنا أن نحقق العدالة حقيقة في سوريا فيجب أن تتحقق العدالة في كل جوانبها، وإحداها الأساسية معرفة الحقيقة بالإضافة للتعويض ومعاقبة المجرمين.
Thank you so much, Mr. Anwar. Also, maybe a relevant question to you, Ms. Michelle, if you allow me. Within the work of the IIIM and your mandate, you are really, you have a lot of experience and work and effort right now dealing with Syrian CSOs and other actors, collecting data and preserving it, analyzing it, and also trying to build case files. Specifically, when we are talking about the missing people and all these challenges that were described and others. For example, the mass graves, people are taking the initiative and maybe just like Qutaiba was doing, for instance, trying to find his beloved one by his own. And all this information that might be lost at some point. What the IIIM is considering in this context, how are you trying to preserve this? How are you trying to overcome these challenges?
Thank you. I mean, it's really such an important question about the relationship between the accountability process and the search for missing persons. I think we've learned such an important lesson from the Balkans in this respect, because we know a body like the Yugoslavia War Crimes Tribunal worked for 25 years bringing perpetrators to justice, and in the course of that they put together an immense body of evidence, and more than 9 million pages now in the ICTY's evidence collection, beyond what people imagined in 1993. And of course what we've seen as well is that within the pages of that evidence there are many, many leads about the whereabouts of missing persons. And so the challenge over the years has become how to make sure that this crucial information inside the archives of an accountability body can be made available for searching for missing persons as well. And I would say, most importantly, that we don't wait 25 years when the work of the accountability process is done, that we find ways for, at an early stage, really trying to make sure that the action of these bodies are connected. So this is a lesson that we start with at the IIIM. I mean, we are already, of course, being created late in the process because, 6-7 years of conflict in Syria before the IIIM was established. But still, we know that if we are proactive now in the way we're collecting evidence, the way that we're organising it, that we have techniques for identifying what might be useful in terms of searching for the missing, that we can link with bodies like the ICMP and others who have a mandate to search for missing persons, that we can achieve a lot. You said quite rightly that we are really dependent on coordination with civil society. Of course, the 6-7 years before we were created, there was an immense amount of incredible work being done by people like Anwar, who was honoured today for that work. And so what's really important is that we don't start from the beginning, but that we start with the benefit of this incredible work that's been done over so many years. So we are really actively now engaging with civil society, putting in place frameworks that will allow us to preserve, collect, analyse the material that's been collected by others, that we can add to that with our own investigations, and that together, Munira, you said it, we can do much more together. And I think that is really such a key message when it comes to the mandate that the IIIM has. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, Patrick, then talking about accountability and justice within the context of this very complicated issue of the missing persons. So far, I don't know if you can just highlight to us if you have experienced kinds of cases that you are dealing or you are going to deal with related to this kind of issues. And to what extent the other rights, not only the right to justice, but also the right to the truth, the right to reparation might be included in such cases in the currently or in the future maybe.
Sure, thank you. Yeah, maybe I say a couple of words about what we have been doing concretely in the past years regarding Syria. Before then, I answer concretely to your questions regarding the importance of the work of the ICMP and of all the whole movement of missing persons for justice proceedings. From the ECCHR, we have been working on Syria, on the international justice efforts on Syria since 2012, when the investigations here in Germany started, which were conducted in a very broad manner, where just all kinds of evidence was collected, so to say, and put in a big basket in a way to wait if any of this would be pertinent for the German prosecutors because somebody would come here. So it was in the beginning more of a way to kind of secure the German immigration, so to say, from perpetrators coming. Something that we were happy to facilitate with an old Syrian friend I see here in the room as well. And because in 2012, the first people came to us and said we were being shot at in demonstrations, we were being tortured, etc. And then this whole work continued, and we found it very laudable in the beginning, but then came 2013, 14, 15, and we were like, okay, this needs to be more strategically done. Because so far we have a kind of an opportunistic approach. We wanted to take a strategic approach. With all the people that came also two now great friends of ours, Mazen Dawish and Anwar Al-Buni, heading and directing their respective organizations. And together we sat down and discussed what is strategic, what does it mean in that sense. Because at the time, I mean, and even today, every possible or imaginable international crime is being committed on a very regular basis. And so we set out to really target high-level people that are responsible for the torture prisons run by the Syrian government. And we decided to file complaints, criminal complaints, here in Germany against the top leadership, so to say, that is behind this torture and detention system. We wanted to kind of make a little crack, so to say, in this wall of impunity that there was in 2015 when it became clear that there would be no referral to the International Criminal Court. So we used the universal jurisdiction law here in Germany and tried to push for that with our partners. In a manner also that is also very important and referring to my second point, that really tries as much as possible to put the victims and the survivors at the center of this process. So by now we are working together with more than 50 clients that we want to put in the position to not only give testimony, but to demand justice, to become claimants of their cases, because these cases have to be about them if justice so far away from home, so to say, is to matter to them. So we filed 4 criminal complaints here in Germany. We filed 1 in Austria. We kind of wanted to spread this to the European level, and always we targeted these highly responsible persons, because this is also something maybe to mention here, that these crimes, this torture and disappearance by detention, is something that is very, very systematically done in Syria. And if you want to kind of crack that wall or to make a hole in the wall of impunity, if you want to change that system, you do need to attack the system of itself. And that's why you need to go after the people that are highly responsible, even though they might not be here at this present moment, but one day they might want to travel. And in the beginning, when we started, people laughed at us and said, nobody's going to give out an arrest warrant against Jamil Hassan, especially not a German prosecutor. And 2 years later, the German prosecutor handed out an arrest warrant against Jamil Hassan, and the French now followed with 3 more arrest warrants. So that's the kind of work that we have done so far in Syria. Regarding the importance of the whole, I would call it, movement behind the persons of the missing, spearheaded by ICMP, I would say it's important on 2 levels mainly. One is a rather technical one regarding kind of the loss of evidence in this criminal proceedings, although these are mass crimes, and of course they are so horrendous that there is a very strong sentiment for a judgment to be handed down. But in a legal sense, you do need to account for every single death of a person, for every single case of torture, for every single disappeared person, and you need the kind of evidence that you would need for one single murder trial that goes on maybe for one person for 6 months, and you hear 5 witnesses that exactly saw how the person was stabbed, for example. And any kind of documentation that we have is extremely helpful, and at the same time, regarding this system of making people disappear that is designed to destroy families and the society, it's always so difficult to get. And it takes a lot of effort and sometimes a long, long time also of this work, and that this evidence is being preserved, this kind of documentation at such a high level, is important for the identification, for the proof of every single crime that then amounts to these crimes against humanity that we speak of, and that at the same time also, by showing these large numbers, this aggregate data can give you an image of the systemacy of the crime at the same time. The other point that is at least as important is that it doesn't only identify the person in court, it gives a voice to the very specific person that, I mean, we've heard, like somebody said it here, every person who was disappeared has a family. And I'm so humbled to hear all these stories, and all these stories are so important to be told. And by this work being done and headed by civil society actors, by brave people coming forward, it makes sure that justice is not something just on a technical level where we say, yeah, 500 people were being disappeared. No, every one of these persons has had a sister and a mother and a brother, and this is something that is conveyed at the same time, and that's a lot about ownership on the one hand, and also, I mean, in Syria, there are hundreds of thousands of people that have the right to justice, to international justice, And those who know us know that we work very hard, that every one of them gets that. But I mean, history shows us, will all of them ever get their day in court for that very case that is so important to them? That's at least to be doubted because of the sheer mass, unfortunately. And to have these avenues where it is clear something is being preserved, stories are being told, and can be used one day if there is the day in court, is also very important for that purpose. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Patrick. And yeah, based on all this, I would like also to come back to Noura. And maybe if you have an idea, what do you think representing actually victims as a family and as an activist, having been working in the field of human rights and now currently mobilizing families? If you have a message for the general public, for general stakeholders, let's say, what do you say to them, and what kind of things you think that can be done so far to support the families in their struggle for the search and identification of the whereabouts of their beloved ones, as well as for justice, accountability and justice?
Well, firstly, there is a kind of complementary between the work of the human rights activists and the families. Like the great achievement done by my colleagues Mazen and Antwer, for example, lately in France, Germany, and Austria. For the audience and the general personalities in the international community, I would like to say that, okay, maybe the biggest role is on you, actually. Unfortunately, we cannot do anything without your support. We need this kind of support, even if it's a kind of emotionally support, but we need, as I mentioned before, this kind of political decisions. But firstly, it's a very good idea to invite families, to invite direct victims, to hear them, to allow them to represent themselves. We cannot, as activists, we cannot represent all Syrians. It's more credibility to hear directly from them, to know directly their suffering. And I see that they have the basic rights to tell what they need and what they suffered from, what they need, what is justice for them, what they need in their very simple way that they express themselves, what they need from you to help and support them.
Thank you very much, Noura. And I also would like to hear from Munira, since based on your huge experience also, what do you think can be done? What's your message? What's your message also to the stakeholders, to governments, to international organizations? Shall I repeat? I would like to know your message also to the international organizations, to governments and other stakeholders. What can they do for the Syrian families? Thank you.
Znači, svijet I Evropa, koliko god rekli da nisu odgovorni, odgovorni su. Moraju shvatiti da nestale osobe u Siriji su nečija djeca, nečiji sinovi, nečiji muževi, da se radi o živim bićima I da na taj način pomognu da se više uključe, da se pronađu nestali, da li živi, da li mrtvi. Nestala osobe moraju biti u prvom planu. To je poruka Evrope da se ne može graditi budućnost bez istine I bez pravde. A pravda je da majke pronađu svoju djecu, a istina je da odgovorni odgovaraju. Hvala vam.
Thank you, Munira. Fadwa, I believe that you have also a message for the stakeholders. What do you want to tell them?
أول أنا بدي أقول إنه أنا كمان بحمل المجتمع الدولي المجتمعات اللي بتطالب بحقوق الإنسان أو راعية لحقوق الإنسان تأخذ هذا الملف الإنساني بعين بالأولوية، يعني يكون الأولوية لإلها، تدعمنا نحن. إن كان أنا ما بدي بس دعم مثل ما حكيت من شوي، ما بدي بس دعم معنوي، بدي شيء ملموس على الأرض، بدي هذا الدعم يتجسد بالشيء العملي. أكيد فيه بوادر كتير، وقلت لك أنا بهاي المرحلة عم شوف بوادر للاهتمام بهذا الملف اللي هو الملف المعتقلين أو المفقودين أو المغيبين. بس هل يا ترى هو كافي لأم فقدت ابنها أو لزوجة فقدت زوجة أو فقدت أغلى ما عندها؟ أكيد هذا ما كافي. أنا بطلب منهم إنه فعلا يكثفوا الجهود، يسمعوا معاناة هدول الناس يلي عم تعاني بكل لحظة وبكل ثانية وبكل دقيقة. أنتوا بتروحوا على بيوتكم وبتقعدوا لأنه ما عندكم مشكلة، أما أنا لما برجع على بيتي وأنا عم أحكي عن ابني أنا ما بعرف أعيش، ما عم أعرف أعيش. فهذا الشيء المفروض أنتوا كمان تأخذوه بعين الاعتبار كونه أنتوا معنيين بحقوق الإنسان. الشيء الثاني أنا اللي بدي أقوله للسوريين، للأمهات السوريين، أنا بدي أوجه لهم رسالة من هون. أنا اللي بدي أقوله يا عائلات، يا أمهات بسوريا، إذا أنتم ما بتقدروا تحكوا، لا، علوا صوتكم، ضلوا الأمل بأنه نحن بدنا نشوف أولادنا، بدنا نجتمع فيهم بلحظة من اللحظات، فنحن بدنا نضل نطالب فيهم، إن كان بسوريا وإن كان بأوروبا وإن كان بكل مكان، لأنه نحن لنا الحق بأنه نجتمع معهم ونشوفهم. شكرا.
Thank you, Fadwa. Well, Kutaiba also, would you like also to deliver a concrete message, kind of demands or recommendations that you see are very relevant, very important to support the families and the issue of the missing persons?
طبعا أحس وأشعر بالحرج الدبلوماسي، أشعر بالحرج الدبلوماسي التي تعاني منه الحكومات والدول، لذلك لا أعول عليهم كثيرا. أنا خطابي للشعوب التي هي تصنع قرار الحكومات، خطابي للشعوب في الدول العالم كافة كي تقوم بالضغط على حكوماتها وأنظمتها للنظر إلى القضية السورية على أنها قضية شعب يباد، للإحساس بنا. أوروبا عانت الكثير، وما تعيشه الآن من حالة من الاستقرار وأتمناها أن تدوم، ومن السلام والسلم الأهلي الذي أتمناه أيضا أن يدوم، أريد هذه الحالة أيضا تنتقل إلى بلادي. لن أخاطب الحكومات، أخاطب الشعوب لأنها صانعة القرار. وشفنا من يومين الشعوب شو عملت بفرنسا، أجبرت الحكومة الفرنسية على تقديم تنازلات. وشكرا.
Thank you, Kutaiba. Thank you very much. Wafa, I assume also you have something to deliver.
Well, I don't really have much to add, but I had 2 points in mind. First, of course, I would ask the public to give us a place and a chance and time to speak up. To achieve solidarity, we need to solve this complexity of the Syrian issue that everyone argues with. And to do this, you need to listen to us, and we need then a place and a chance to speak up. So it's a two-way road, and I'm totally aware of it, and I know my duty And this is what I am trying to do. But in order to do this, I need a place and time. And the second point was, this is something I repeat all the time. And I know it's not a very easy, but I would gently ask the public or our surroundings to stop victimizing us. Well, it's easier for you and us when you treat us as victims. Then I would need to do nothing. By victimizing us, you're reducing us to mere humans. And this is not useful, not for you, not for us. Now I am part of this community, I am part of this society, and I want to do the best I can, not because I'm a Syrian refugee, a good Syrian refugee or a bad one, not because I'm non-German, because this is who I am. Not because my father is arrested, but because this is what I want to do. If I was in Syria, I wanted to do the same. So by victimizing us, you're pushing us to do the least we can, while there is many people want to do more. They want to do best they can. Thank you.
Thank you, Wafa. The last message, maybe a very brief message from our panelists, starting from Mr. Anwar to the families themselves. Just choose if you want to talk to them based on the accountability and justice work, or generally speaking, your message to the families themselves.
I have two messages. One for families of missing person. Don't give up. You are in the heart of our work. You are in the heart of the accountability procedure. Don't give up. Hope is very, very big in front of us, all of us. And we will continue to find your lover. Second, to the politic. Any politic man, any people think they can find any solution. How they think about political solution, military solution, every kind of solution they maybe think about it. If they will ignore this issue, accountability and missing people, they will fail. It will be go on without any results. This issue must to be in the first step with any solution will come, or anybody put it for Syria or agree about it for Syria. Without solve this issue, it will be nothing. We will not build our peace in our society, in our country, without solve this issue, and the families have rest and share to rebuild Syria. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anwar. Again, Noura, and your last message to the families, especially when we talk about the families inside Syria and in the neighboring countries, considering all the difficult circumstances that they are living under. What's your message to them?
Actually, it's a kind of difficult message. I want to say to them that, okay, I know that this is very difficult and sometimes we cannot bear it, but we don't have many options. We have to struggle ahead to get the justice and to solve our problems. We cannot, as Anwar said, we cannot give up, and we should not give up.
Thank you.
Kutaiba, on behalf of your association, Caesar Families Association, what would you like also to address the families? And then, if you allow us, we will move to our audience, please.
بالنيابة عن عائلات قيصر أتوجه لعموم الشعب السوري في الداخل والخارج. نحن لسنا وكلاء عنكم، إنما اسمحوا لنا أن نكون صوتكم الجريء في دول تعتبر منابر للحرية، محكومين بالأمل. ممكن تتأخر قضيتنا شوي، سنة وسنتين، وممكن نموت إحنا ويجوا أولادنا يكملوا، لكن إن عبرة بالتاريخ وتجربة غرب البلقان شاهدة، ومستمرين إن شاء الله وراح نكفي الطريق.
Thank you, Kutaiba. I will leave thanking our panelists to the end. I would like to give the floor to our audience, and I will appreciate if you can introduce yourself and indicate to whom you are addressing your question, if there is a specific question for one of our guests. Otherwise, just mention to us that it's a general question so they can choose who will answer. So please feel free to ask. Yes.
غسان عبد الله، مدير عام المنظمة الفلسطينية لحقوق الإنسان بلبنان. أنا بشكر الصدفة وجودي هون، وبشكر الصديق أنور اللي دعاني على النشاط لنكون بيناتكم. بالأول بدي أكد على اللي قالوا مازن الصديق والزميل مازن وأنور ونورة الأستاذة نورة. بداية من مازن، ما بتنتهي الحرب بآخر بوقف إطلاق النار، بدها العدالة. العدالة واللي أكد عليها أنور مهمة جدا لحتى نقول انتهت الحرب. في المسألة الانعكاساتها اللي عم بيصير عندنا بالمنطقة، انعكاساته وصل على أوروبا. لتنتهي الحرب بدنا عدالة، من دون عدالة كمان مش حتنتهي موضوع لا إتجار البشر ولا الهجرة الغير شرعية اللي عم تعاني منها أوروبا اليوم. لتنتهي الحرب بدنا عدالة، إذا ما في عدالة ما حينتهي لا العنف ولا التطرف. واللي قالته نورة كتير ضروري على موضوع لبنان، الضغط على لبنان. اليوم بلبنان السوري اللي عم بيتوقف عند الأمن العام عم بيضغطوا عليه ليمضي انه هو بده مع العودة الطوعية هو وعيلته. وشفنا كتير من العودة الطوعية، في ناس وصلت رجعت بعد ما في ناس اعتقلوا او في ناس حتى قتلوا. بالموضوع سوريا ما بدنا ننسى اللاجئين الفلسطينيين بسوريا واللي هلأ لجأوا للبنان. إذا المعاملة سيئة بلبنان مع السوري فهي أسوأ مع الفلسطيني. السوري اعتبروه نازح، اليوم الفلسطيني اللاجئ من سوريا ما في تعريف له، ما بلبنان بيعتبروه ضيف، تخضع للمزاجية إذا بجددوا له الإقامات أو لا. وكمان بيعاني من نفس اللي بيعاني منه السوري بلبنان. الرسالة، أنا ما عندي سؤال، عندي رسالة. حتى نقدر نضغط على الدول اللي فيها حروب، على لبنان على غيره، لازم نطلع من سياسة الكيل بمكيالين لحتى نقدر نقول للبنان اللي هو بيعتبر حاله دولة ترانزيت مش لجوء، وبكل بجاحة مسؤولينه على التلفزيونات وقدام الاتحاد الأوروبي وقدام الأمم المتحدة بيرفضوا كل القرارات وبصروا على المعاملة اللي بيتعاملوا فيها مع الناس، مع اللاجئين. كيف بدك تضغط عليه إذا أنت ما بتقدر تضغط أو يعني بترجح الحل السياسي الأمني على موضوع الإنسان؟ تقول إذا ما في عدالة ما في حقوق إنسان ما حتنتهي الحرب، ما حينتهي المشاكل. وزي ما أنتم شفتوا هي وصلت على أوروبا. شكرا.
Thank you very much. Any other questions, comments, messages? More than welcome. Yes, please.
مساء الخير، ماريا العبدة من النساء الآن من أجل التنمية. طبعا لنا شرف الشغل اليومي مع عائلات من أجل الحرية، وشكرا لكل الطاقة اللي بتعطونا إياها. بس هون حابة أوصل صوت تاني. راجعة من اجتماع مع ناس العائدون من الموت، مع ضحايا صيدنايا وضحايا سجون أخرى، وكان عندهم رسالتين كتير قوية يمكن بتوجه فيها للسياسيين واللي بيشتغلوا على هاي. كان عندهم رسالتين مشان العدالة بسوريا. أول شيء إنه النظام المحاكمات العشوائية، هذا النظام كله اللي الناس صارت ضده لازم يتوقف، وإلا ما في أمان بسوريا. والنقطة الثانية كانت كثير مهمة، إنه أخطر ما في جريمة الاعتقال بسوريا اليوم هي إنه جريمة ما زالت مستمرة. فاليوم انطرح إنه في ناس من لبنان عم بيرجعوا لسوريا وهن كلياتهم عرضة للاعتقال. فاليوم ملف المعتقلين هو ما زال ملف مفتوح على كل الجهات، مو فقط إنه ما زال البحث مستمر، لا اليوم وبكرة وبعد بكرة لسه في ناس عم بيتم تغييبها قسريا بسوريا، وهذا أخطر ما في المسألة، وهذا الخطر اللي عم بيعيق تجاه عودتنا جميعا لسوريا اليوم. شكرا.
Thank you, Mania. Other questions, contributions, please.
Guten Abend. Mein Name ist Usama Al-Amin von Human Head Community aus Berlin. Meine Frage ist an Herrn König. Herr König? Ja, meine Frage war, ob die deutsche Regierung aktuell in Kontakt mit dem Regime Bezug nehmend auf das Thema Vermissten und Verhafteten. Danke.
So, apologies. The questions are supposedly to be addressed to the panelists. Mr. König asked me to clarify that, so it's his choice. Any other questions? Any other comments? What? Ah, yes.
ياسمين مشعان. سؤالي إنه هل في وسيلة، بما إنه إحنا عثرنا على صورة أخوي بملفات قيصر، إنه هل في وسيلة نوقف الموت بالمعتقلات وتحويل المعتقلين لصور ثانية، إخراجهم كصور ثانية لقيصر؟ هل من وسيلة فعالة لهالشيء هذا؟ من أهم أهداف الرابطة هي إيقاف الدم اللي عم يجري يوميا بسوريا، ليس فقط بالخارج المعتقلات إنما بالداخل. كل يوم عم نسمع إنه عن النظام عم يرسل مذكرة لأهالي المعتقلين إنه ابنكم مات بالمعتقل. هل من وسيلة للتحقق والتأكيد على هذا الشيء، وإلا هي مجرد مذكرة عادية ممكن تكون وسيلة للضغط النفسي على هاي العوائل، ونكون فعلا هذا الشيء حقيقي أو غير حقيقي؟ يعني مجموعة من التساؤلات كثيرة. شو الآلية اللي ممكن نحققها ونوصل لراحة البال قبل كل شيء؟ حتى الصور أحيانا نفكر نقول هل معقول إنه هي الصورة هي من المعتقلات؟ هذا السؤال.
Thank you very much, Yasmin. I hope I can have an answer for this or a solution, and I don't know, maybe I share this also with our panelists. It's right, Mr. Anwar, do you have an answer for this?
There is answer, but there is way. There is way, but the problem, who will take it? From the first, the international community can do very, I don't speak only about military solution or military intervention. There is many politic and diplomatic way. Until now, the international community don't use it to stop this problem. And beside accountability, we start late because there is procedure must to continue. But if we start earlier, maybe we send message from before for the murders to stop. It's not our hand. We try to push the politic maker who can do something. We try to push them more and more to have some activity about that. We hope so. We hope to succeed. Everybody here hope to stop seeing people die in that detention and in all Syria war. Anyway, for example, or for attention you, every hour until now, every hour in Syria, one detainees die in that detention in the Assad regime. Every hour. Thank you very much.
Any more questions or comments before we move to the concluding marks? Yes, please.
Thank you very much for everyone. My question is to Michelle.
Would you please introduce yourself?
I'm Ahmed Talib from the SCM. My question is to Michelle from the IIM. I know that you've been working on the issues of the missing as well in Syria, but I just want to know, how do you collaborate with the ICMP into solving this issue? What kind of collaboration, concrete collaboration that's happening between you and the ICMP regarding this? So that the Syrians that are here actually can understand what's happening, the things that they don't know, they don't see. So how's it going?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So what has happened so far is that the IIIM since May has had an information and evidence management system in place, and by that I mean the technological framework to make sure that we can collect large amounts of documentation, that we can preserve it under criminal law standards, and that we can organise and analyse it. As I don't need to tell the audience in this room, the volume of material at issue is staggering. And even for us, only having been collecting material since May, we already have terabytes and terabytes and terabytes of material. It's beyond anything that any other court or tribunal has put together. And we know that volume is just going to keep escalating in the months to come, and that's what we want, because we want as comprehensive a picture as possible. So really for us, the imperative is to make sure that we do this work really well, that we put the material together in a way that we can find the pieces of evidence that are going to be helpful, not only for our work in linking crimes to perpetrators and preparing those criminal law case files, but also to the work that's being done by others who have a mandate to assist on the search for missing persons. So for the ICMP, it means that we are, of course, in dialogue with the ICMP about what is the best framework for supporting mutually our efforts. And it's really a question of making sure that we apply these rigorous standards so that we can channel information through. One of the things, for example, that we're involved in at the moment is tagging. So it's a bit of a technical term, but it just means that when we're bringing evidence in, we have subjects that we're looking for in the evidence, and we have technical ways of making sure we can tag material that fits into different issues that will be relevant for accountability, but also relevant for searching for missing persons, and that we can then make sure we channel that through to those who can follow up on it. But I think this really underscores one of the key messages, which for me is coordination between different actors. The more information and evidence that we can collect from those who've been doing this work over many years, the last 7 or 8 years, the more we're in a position to be able to assist on a whole range of different issues, on the missing persons, but also following up from Patrick's comments before, to channel this material through also to national prosecution authorities here in Europe or elsewhere who are already working on cases. So that's a process that we have underway. We have requests for assistance from multiple national criminal justice actors, and we're working to make sure that we can provide the best possible material in response to those requests.
Thank you very much. Okay, I have to take the last question, please.
مساء الخير، جهاد عبد الله، أنا طبيب بشتغل هون ببرلين. حبيت أنوه لنقطتين من خلال عملي طبيب نفسي مع السوريين، وطبعا شاهدت معاناتهم وحكيت معهم. النقطتين اللي بدي أشير لهون إنه ممكن ما بعرف إذا هذا الشيء صار، أهالي المفقودين أو حتى الضحايا إصدار وثائق خاصة فيهم من قبل المراكز المعترف فيها هون مثلا بألمانيا، تسهل عليهم، هذا أقل ما يمكن عمله، تسهل عليهم الإجراءات العمليات القانونية هون بألمانيا. ومنها حتى صدر مؤخرا من قبل الأستاذ أنور البني حول موضوع أنه زيارة السفارة، إصدار جوازات سفر أو ما شابه، هذا يشكل ضغط نفسي كبير عليهم. فإذا كان إصدار هذه الوثائق والاعتراف بها من قبل الحكومة الألمانية لأهالي الضحايا، هذا كثير شيء إيجابي. الأمر الثاني وتم الإشارة له، تشجيع لقاء أهالي المفقودين أو حتى هن الضحايا اللي تعرضوا للتعذيب، تنظيم ليس لقاء فقط أشخاص مؤتمر أو ما شابه، ولكن أقل ما يمكن مرتين بالسنة مثلا بألمانيا تواجد عدد كبير من السوريين حتى يلتقوا، وهذا سبيل مهم جدا لرفع معنوياتهم، لتجاوز الأمل ووجود الأمل في أنه يحققوا شيء بهالحياة. شكرا لكم.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Mr. Kunish, I think you have a word regarding this or other topic.
Sorry, I think that was a misunderstanding. I was just referring that I was not member of the panel, but that does not exclude an answer, of course, to the question that was raised. So I was probably a little bit late in my reaction. Well, the answer to the question that was raised is maybe somewhat surprising in the first place, but I'm going to explain. We are not discussing with Damascus anything, because we don't have relations with Damascus. We don't have an embassy there, and we don't have direct contacts. So what we do is upholding international law, humanitarian principles, human rights through the international community and the mechanisms within the international community, which is, of course, first of all, the special representative of the Secretary General and other institutions, but there are no direct contacts between Berlin and Damascus. So that's, and sorry again for not reacting immediately to this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And finally, I would like to move to the closing remarks. I would like to invite Mr. Mazen Darwish, founder and director of the Syrian Center for Media and Freedom of Expression. So, please.
شكرا جزيلا للجميع. ما سهل أبدا إضافة أي شيء بعد كل شيء سمعناه، وبالحقيقة شكرا للICMP على هذا البانل المميز فعلا، واللي بيشكل كل شخص فيه إضافة للقضية الأساسية. اليوم واضح أنه قضية المختفين والمعتقلين والمختفين قسريا بسوريا ليست قضية أرقام، ليست حالات فردية. نحن عم نحكي عن قضية بتمس بدون مبالغة كل عائلة في سوريا. قد لا يكون هناك عائلة واحدة في سوريا ليس لديها مختفي أو معتقل أو مفقود. فبالتالي الكارثة الإنسانية حول هذه القضية هي بحجم سوريا وبحجم 23 مليون، وليس فقط حتى 150,000 أو 300 أو 600,000 بغض النظر عن الأرقام. هذه القضية أيضا ما أنا مسألة فقط مجرد زمن بمر وممكن نتوقع أنه أي حدا ممكن أنه ينسى ابنه أو زوجه أو شخص من المقربين له. هذه القضية مثل ما أكدوا بالبنل هي مفتاح السلام في سوريا. إذا كان هناك حل عادل وحل مرضي للضحايا ولعائلاتهم قد يكون هناك سلام مستدام بسوريا. بدون هذا الشيء سيكون لدينا فقط استراحة بين حربين. الحرب الأخرى ستكون قائمة على للأسف على الانتقام، على إحساس الضحايا بالغضب والعنف، وعلى عدم ثقتهم بوجود العدالة. وهذا ليس فقط داخل سوريا لكن على امتداد انتشار السوريين حول العالم. لذلك أيضا العدالة ليست قضية انتقام، ليست قضية ثأر، هي أيضا حاجة ماسة للسوريين جميعا بغض النظر عن الاصطفافات السياسية. أعتقد حتى الجنات إذا فكروا بشكل منطقي لديهم بالمصلحة بالعدالة لأجل أطفالهم، لضمان الاستقرار والسلام في المستقبل. العدالة ليست ترف، ليست قضية انتقام أو ثأر شخصي، هي أيضا رسالتنا الأخلاقية والإنسانية. بعد كل شيء مرت فيه البشرية عار علينا كجنس إنساني أن نقبل ونرضخ لمنطق الإفلات من العقاب، لأنه لن يكون سوى المزيد من الجرائم، ليس في سوريا فقط. كل مجرم يفلت في سوريا أو في أي منطقة سيشجع مجرم آخر في أوروبا وفي أمريكا اللاتينية وفي كل مكان حول العالم. بحاجة للعدالة لمنع الإجرام حول العالم، ليس فقط من أجل السوريين، لمنع الإفلات من العقاب. الضحايا وعائلاتهم والناجون، وشكرا علا لأنه أنتم مش ضحايا بالمعنى السلبي، وفا أنتم الأشخاص اللي نحن فعلا نستمد طاقتنا وحيويتنا منكم، وبدونكم فعلا ما ممكن يكون في أي شيء عم ينشغل، لأنه أنتم فعلا المبادرين، وأنتم فعلا أصحاب القضية، وأنتم الضمانة الوحيدة حتى لا تنتسى. منيرة، هذا جزء من اللي تعلمناه من تجربتكم. ليس المجتمع الدولي للأسف ولا مؤسسات الأمم المتحدة وليست منظمات حقوق الإنسان ولا المدافعين بالمعنى الأشخاص، عائلات الضحايا هم الضمانة الوحيدة لبقاء هذه القضية حية، ولعدم السماح بنسيانها، ولعدم السماح بتمرير مساومات ومحاصصات ومكاسب سياسية على حسابها. لهيك نحن معنيين كلياتنا بدعم هذا النوع من التجمعات لروابط العائلات، لروابط الضحايا. هذا هو أيضا استثمارنا بالمعنى الأخلاقي والوطني لقضية بنعرف للأسف رح تستمر 10 و20 و30 سنة ممكن بسوريا. أنتوا وكل العائلات اللي مثلكم اللي عندها نفس الروح وعندها نفس الأمل، أنتوا ضمانتنا لمستقبل أفضل بسوريا بصدق. شو اللي ممكن يعمل المجتمع الدولي؟ أظن في تجربتين. في تجربة الترابل IM وميشيل موجودة هون، واحدة من المبادرات اللي فعلا نحن متفائلين فيها وكنا سعيدين، لكن أيضا علمتنا أنه لما بيكون في قيادة دولية أخلاقية هناك حلول، رغم الفيتو، رغم وجود دول بمجلس الأمن تستخدم الفيتو، لكن لما وجدت الإرادة والقيادة الأخلاقية استطاعت الجمعية العامة أن تمرر قرار إنشاء الترابل IM. مثال آخر للأسف ما بهذا خليني أقول الوضوح الأخلاقي، مختلط مع المصالح أكثر، اللي هو قانون رقم 10 اللي أصدرته الحكومة السورية حول الأملاك. لما استشعرت الدول بأوروبا تحديدا أنه هذا القانون قد يكون معيق لعودة اللاجئين، استطاعت أن تضغط، واستطاعت أن تجد طرق للتواصل مع الحكومة السورية، واستطاعت أن تفرض عليها بالنهاية تعديل هذا القانون. أتمنى فعلا أنه ندرك أنه لن يكون هناك عودة للاجئين حقيقية وطوعية وأخلاقية بدون حل مسألة المفقودين والمعتقلين والمختفين. من الممكن الضغط، على الأقل وقف تنفيذ أحكام الإعدام، على الأقل ما راح أحكي بإطلاق سراح المعتقلين، لكن على الأقل ضمان بقائهم على قيد الحياة. على الأقل إذا وصلنا لحالة وقف للحرب والسلام أن يكون هناك أشخاص نستطيع أن نقول أنهم استفادوا من هذا السلام، أطلق سراحهم. إذا استمر الوضع على ما هو عليه، للأسف عندما سيكون هناك سلام في سوريا أو وقف إطلاق نار، لن نجد شخص مفقود أو معتقل واحد لنحتفل بخروجه بالسلامة، سيكون تم القضاء عليهم جميعا. من الممكن هذا الحديث نستمر لسنوات طويلة، نعيده ونكرره، لكن كل يوم بيتأخر بنكون نحن عم نغذي وعم ندعم التطرف بسوريا وحول العالم وبأوروبا. أفضل وأسهل فريسة للتطرف هو الشخص الذي يشعر بانعدام العدالة، والذي يشعر بأن القانون لا يستطيع أن يمنحه حقوقه. بحاجة أن نحمي الشباب، تحديدا فئة الشباب وشريحة الشباب بسوريا وحول العالم. بكل مرة بنقول لهم ما في عدالة، ما في حقوق إنسان، ما في إنصاف، بنكون عم نقول لهم روحوا باتجاه العنف والتطرف. ليست التنمية فقط وانعدامها والفقر هو سبب من أسباب التطرف، لكن أيضا فقدان الثقة بالقيم الأخلاقية وبقيم حقوق الإنسان بالدرجة الأولى. يمكن بعرف الأشخاص، معظم الأشخاص اللي هن أحبتكم وبعرفهم بشكل شخصي، لهيك يمكن يعني بعرف قديش صعب انكم تيجوا لهون وتحكوا، وقديش فعلا مثل ما كمان وفقنا واحد من الناس ضليت يمكن أكثر من 6 شهور لحتى أقدر أحكي عن تجربتي. بفهم هذا الشيء جيدا، وبفهم أنه لما بترجع فدوى على البيت تبدأ رحلة الآلام. لكن الأمل اللي بيعطونا إياه تمسك بقضية العدالة، تمسك بالحقيقة، تمسك بالعدالة اللي هي لكل السوريين، بالحقيقة لكل السوريين. حكى كمان أنور عن الضحايا لكل الأطراف، لكل الاصطفافات، وهذا أمر جيد. القيم لا تجتزأ. مهم جدا الاي سي ام بي واللي بتعمله. يمكن واحدة بصدق من فرحتنا بسوريا لما عرفنا انه الاتحاد الاوروبي وافق على تمديد او مد المانديت تبع الاي سي ام بي باتجاه سوريا، ولما كان في امكانية. للأسف انه تعطلت هذه الامكانية لفترة اكثر من سنة او سنتين على قضية بتخص التمويل، وهذا امر بصدق مؤسف. وهذا ايضا عانت منه ايضا الترابل اي ام اللي ايضا تعطل انطلاقه فتره طويله بسبب التمويل. نتمنى على الاقل انه ما يكون الاموال هي العائق باتجاه هذه الجهود اللي نحن بنحتاجها، واللي هي جهود ممتازه. وهذا اليوم بالاضافه لدعواتكم دعوة تحديدا للمجتمع، خليني أقول المغترب السوري اللي موجود بألمانيا. هناك فرصة من خلال انخراطكم بالحياة الألمانية، بالدورة الاقتصادية، بالاحتكاك الدائم بتعلم اللغة منكم تخدموا قضية أحبائكم. بتمنى أنه نستفيد منك. كل واحد منا ممكن يكون هو له بضغط بمكان وجوده وبشكل إيجابي. بتمنى أنه تتعاونوا فعلا مع ICMP تزويدا بالمعلومات والملفات اللي بتخص الضحايا. هذه فرصة قد يكون بعد سنوات طويلة مش الآن نقدر نلمس نتائج ملموسة وعملياتية. شكرا كثير للحكومة الألمانية لدعمها، أيضا للاتحاد الأوروبي، للICMP أصدقائنا وشركائنا وزملائنا، لجلالة الملكة نور الالتزام الأخلاقي الدائم والطويل المدى بكل القضايا الإنسانية، لكل الموجودين اليوم. قد تكون هي خطوات صغيرة باتجاه العدالة، لكن سيكون هناك عدالة. أو لا نكون نحن مجتمع إنساني، إما نفقد إنسانيتنا أو أن يكون هناك عدالة. هذه خياراتنا أظن. شكرا.
Thank you so much, Mazen. And finally, I would like to give the floor to ICMP's Director General, Catherine, for the conclusion, if you don't mind. This is planned. So.
It's been a long evening, so I just will keep the remarks very short. But I just want to thank our panelists and you, Yusuf, for doing an incredible job moderating tonight's event, and for all of you for sharing your stories, which are very powerful, and which is the point of this event, is that people listen to you, that we try to reassure you that we have not forgotten, that you are not victims, that the missing issue is not a file, that this is your life. This is what you go through every day. And I want to thank Her Majesty Queen Noor for coming here, and for Mr. Koning also for his remarks. I mean, they were very powerful, and for Mazen's incredible speech. A lot was said about governments, about Lebanon, about countries where people are now refugees or displaced, whether it's in Germany, whether it's in Lebanon, whether it's Turkey or Jordan, or whether it's somewhere in the Mediterranean, Italy, Greece, where families have been separated as a consequence of the migration crisis. ICMP is an intergovernmental organization, so we act as a bridge, hopefully, between the families of the missing and governments themselves. And we try to remind governments of their obligations under international law to ensure and respect the rights of all families of the missing. So we want to act as that bridge with governments that are in the region who are housing. It's not easy for them, housing large numbers of missing persons or families who are displaced, but we want to work with them and work with you to ensure that these states take on a role to help you so that we can help you. And we want to work with you also so that you also become that bridge between civil society, because you are activists yourself. All of you, whether you have a missing person like Fadwa, building bridges again with governments, and then of course with Syria itself as this goes on, and you've said it so eloquently. So in the end, we need to assist Syria in building the institutions of accountability so that your loved ones can be found. And that is the shared goal that we have with you. So thank you. Thank you very much for your efforts.
Well, and finally, I have personally also a big thank you for ICMP's team. I would not mention the names, I'm sorry, because I'm afraid that I will miss somebody, but Goran, Lama, Yasmin, Trevor, and the rest of the team, you've done a great job. Thank you very much for our panelists, and we invite you also to the reception in the hall, and yeah, maybe see you in a better situations where the families more relieved, let's say. Thank you very much once again. Thank you, Patrick, for coming, for the incredible speech.